We've got a great show for you on this week's episode of Pete's Corner.
Stick with us as we explore how Oklahoma State University is making a difference in people's everyday lives, and they're doing it through research and charity.
Welcome to Pete's Corner. I'm Alexis Winston.
And I'm Kevin Dorsey. There are so many things that go unnoticed around OSU that people don't even recognize.
And we have so many spectacular gems that we would love to share with you today.
Oklahoma State researchers do so many things. They have groundbreaking discoveries, find so many innovative ideas, and they also bring new medicines to the marketplace. There are hundreds of new discoveries and research topics that are going on daily at OSU.
And we can't even begin to touch on all the things that are happening at OSU in their research facilities, but we are going to highlight a few. And I'm going to go head off to talk with OSU's Research Communications Coordinator, Jeff Joyner, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on at OSU and all of some of the cool research that they're doing.
While Alexis is off doing her interviews, let's see how Oklahoma State University is recruiting new researchers. Natalie Sutton went and she talked to an OSU program on how they have given the opportunity to American Indian students and also hope for a brighter future.
Take a step back and recall the teachers, the doctors, or the astronauts. About 9.3% of American Indians get a college degree. But OSU found a way to help more American Indians walk the stage through a unique program. Established in 1997 as part of the Indian Healthcare Improvement Act, the American Indian into Psychology program has been giving this culture an outlook on life that some previously didn't think could be possible. It starts with a summer enrichment program application. American Indian undergrads all over the country apply, and if they make the cut, they spend a month dipping their toes in what graduate school would be like. Attending seminars, going to mental health facilities around the state, all while conducting their own research. But only offered to OSU students is phase 2 of the program. Any psychology student can apply for this scholarship program that out of an average of 150 applicants, only about 8 have a spot. So few are chosen because each student is given their own mentor to help prepare them for grad school. Because of the summer enrichment program, American Indians are more likely to be one of those 8 students chosen.
And that was kind of my first introduction to the other side of research, and I loved it, and I've been doing it ever since. So I would say the kind of combination of the AIP program and working with Dr. Grant really kind of jump-started my research interests and hopefully career.
White also says if it wasn't for the program and the mentors, he would not be where he is today on this career path. The professor who helped pioneer this program says he had no idea that the program would be where it is today.
Not only do I think it's important for us to produce PhDs who go back to serve in the tribal communities, I think they can also serve the tribal communities by winding up in higher education to serve as role models for Native youth who see somebody that looks like them.
White is representing American Indians proudly. He was awarded the Distinguished Graduate Fellowships at OSU.
My experience, luckily, I've been fortunate to have something that's been totally different. So coming here where people are interested and supportive of your cultural backgrounds.
During this 20-year span, OSU has awarded more doctorates in psychology, science, and engineering to more American Indian students than any other university in the United States. For Pete's Corner, I'm Natalie Sutton.
Talk about a strong movement. The program is celebrating 20 years of success. Now, let's check in with Alexis and Jeff. How's it going, Alexis?
Great, Kevin. Jeff was just telling us a little bit about why research is so important to the university. Care to expand, Jeff?
Well, research at a land-grant university like Oklahoma State is part of its basic mission. And research plays such an important role in people's lives, not only in the state of Oklahoma, but across the country and even around the world. And it plays a really important part in the educational experience of students. Because students get involved in actual hands-on research, they work with faculty and mentors, and it really impacts their education.
So Jeff, can you tell us about some of the cool projects that you know that are going on right now?
We have all kinds of research projects going on here in Stillwater and on the Tulsa campus that involve fascinating projects that many people aren't aware of. We have scientists and student researchers working in Switzerland at the ATLAS experiment, which is a huge research project to study subatomic particles. We've got a researcher who's just retired who has spent 10 years studying climate change and the politics and perceptions of climate change. And he actually, in a recent paper, or at least in 2016, before he retired, predicted much of the controversy that's going through the political climate now regarding climate change. We've had a long relationship both in engineering and the College of Education with NASA. We've got engineering projects that are working on improving the possibility of future space travel. There's projects that are working to make astronauts living in space safer from radiation exposure. We've got student researchers in engineering that are developing tools to be used by astronauts in space. The College of Education has worked with NASA for years and years on education programs for teachers and for K through 12 students. So a lot of this work will encourage students and high school students, elementary school students to consider going into engineering and possibly be future astronauts.
No, that's so cool. And again, thank you so much for talking with us today about the research here at OSU. And Kevin, why don't you tell us a little bit more about one OSU research facility that is doing applied research as well as reaching out to the Stillwater community?
Thanks, Alexis. The Botanic Garden is a great place for gardening and research. We sent Hannah Worsham to check it out.
Oklahoma State's Botanic Garden is more than a tourist attraction. It's a community hub, an education resource, and a research lab.
No outside contractors. It's maintained totally by student workers and volunteers and myself. I'm the only full-time person involved with management or maintenance of the gardens. And then we have part-time students through the school year. And then we have a lot of volunteers. We have approximately 50 volunteers, of which about 15 are very active working in the gardens on a weekly basis.
If you're interested in more sustainable gardening practices, the Botanical Garden is a great resource. Volunteering at the Botanic Garden is a great way to use your green thumb, but the garden isn't just about flowers. It also serves as an education and research development center.
The Botanic Garden here at OSU is a great resource for the community. It's a great resource for people to come and see what they could be doing at their homes, seeing landscape ideas, plant ideas. It's also a resource for the university and a resource for the ag school. You know, we have chickens and, so it's more than just plants. We're also part of a research station here. So, there's lots of turf research that goes on here and other things. So we're part of the research program at Oklahoma State University.
One of OSU's turf grass science research priorities is to develop environmentally sound turf grass management practices. This awareness is not important only to the community, but to the world.
Also keep in mind that we have horticulture classes that are also taught out here. So that's very important, along with the research in the classes. And then, of course, the television show is very important. That's how this all started out here, was with the television show.
Community involvement and environmental awareness come together at the Botanic Garden. For Pete's Corner, I'm Hannah Worsham.
The Botanic Garden is open year-round. Stop by and check it out. Welcome back, Alexis.
Thanks, Kevin. I had no idea that OSU was working with NASA.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. I've always wanted to travel to another planet, but who knew that right here at OSU, they're trying to make long-range space travel possible?
I don't think I'd actually want to leave Earth with all the discoveries that I learned about with Jeff. And also, did you know that there's an OSU researcher working on robot intelligence?
Robot intelligence? I think that only happens in movies.
In movies and OSU. Researchers Dr. Shang and Fon received an award from the National Science Foundation to develop social intelligence for robot companions. Robot companions, or co-robots, are especially designed to help the elderly living in assisted environments. Prototypes of the robots have cameras and audio sensors built in that can monitor the needs of people who require assistance with daily life. This project is improving on the prototypes and adding more human features. This research is a part of the National Robotics Initiative.
Sounds like OSU is doing some pretty big things to improve the quality of life for Oklahoma citizens, the nation, and also the world.
Yeah, Kevin, you've got that right. But OSU is actually bettering lives through more than just research. After the break, we'll take a look at how OSU is campaigning for charities like the United Way.
And also, we have another guest coming on to tell us how students are sacrificing their time to make a difference. Welcome back to Pete's Corner. We've talked about some incredible research happening on campus, but for those of us that aren't involved in research, is there a way that we can help OSU make the world a better place?
Yeah, Kevin, without a doubt. Actually, OSU benefits people in more ways than just research, but also with some pretty significant charity work. One way OSU is helping the world is by starting right here in our local community.
Our own Mackenzie McElroy is here to tell us how OSU is helping Payne County.
OSU is helping change our community by raising money to support United Way of Payne County.
You know, we've been very involved with United Way. I've been in this role for 27 years, and I've been the coordinator for the college for 27 years. And it's just an organization that helps out so many agencies.
For 65 years, United Way has been a fundraising arm of charity. It is an institution that raises funds and then distributes them to local charitable organizations in the community.
Well, we have 22 charities that we support, and for most of them, we're a significant portion of their budget. And so without the United Way, they would have to cut services tremendously.
Some of those charitable organizations include Wings of Hope Family Crisis Services, Mission of Hope Homeless Shelter, the Salvation Army, Stillwater Community Health Center, and the Red Cross. These charities would be underfunded if it wasn't for OSU's help. This year, United Way is hoping to raise $925,000, and OSU is helping with that goal. In September of this year, OSU kicked off a campaign to help raise $270,000 for United Way. So far, it has completed 60% of that goal. OSU is United Way's #1 contributor. Every year, it raises 1/3 of United Way's funds by hosting events and fundraisers.
If we did not have Oklahoma State University raising the funds for us, we would have to cut our agencies by 1/3.
United Way has a big impact on our community and our campus. A total of 77,000 people were touched by United Way last year. Of those 77,000, 4,073 were OSU students and 448 were OSU faculty members. So, with the help of OSU and many other donors, United Way is helping make Payne County become a better place. With Pete's Corner, I'm Mackenzie McElroy.
Wow, I had no idea United Way is helping so many in the community. I sure hope OSU makes its fundraising goals.
You know, I hope so too, and there are so many creative ways that OSU is raising money that benefit people in Oklahoma. Why don't you talk a little bit more about that, and I'll go catch up with one of our guests.
Sounds perfect. One organization on campus is raising money by teaching their volunteers how to walk the runway. That's right, this group of women is hosting a fashion show. Carly Hasty has more.
Lights, camera, fashion. This organization is changing the way people think about fundraisers while emphasizing the importance of women's empowerment on campus. Her Campus at Oklahoma State is a national online magazine created to help collegiate women navigate their way through college. Each semester, the organization's members come together to put on an event that benefits the community and the women at OSU. After a successful safety awareness event in the spring of 2017, the women wondered how they could further their community outreach while encouraging OSU's women in the process.
So this time we wanted to unify the women on campus. A lot of things have been going on in the media, so we thought, what's the perfect way to do a fashion show? So we decided to get together. Our exec board did their thing and got the stores together, and we have a fashion show.
The model search required no previous model experience or specific style. Each woman brings her own take on what it means to be a strong female model. The women will model clothing from around the Stillwater community and feature a variety of relatable styles for women and men on campus to be inspired by. They'll both bring awareness to an important cause and prove that anyone from any background can feel beautiful.
In just one short week, these models will move from these practice hallways onto the real deal, the Student Union Little Theater stage. If you'd like to see these women and benefit a good cause, there are tickets that you can buy at the door for $5. 50% of the proceeds will go to the Oklahoma Women's Coalition in Oklahoma City.
The OKWC is a statewide network that works to improve the lives of women and girls through education and advocacy, while addressing important and progressive issues.
We're definitely trying to give away to a woman's charity, and we looked at several organizations or several charities.
Students and Stillwater community members can purchase tickets at the door November 17th at 7 p.m. Let's hear about some of the incredible OSU student volunteers Alexis has been learning about.
Thanks, Kevin. And now I'm sitting here with the Student Center Volunteer Coordinator, Joyce Montgomery. And Joyce, I hear that we have a student who may be the first OSU student to qualify for the President's Service Award. Can you tell us a little bit about that student and then what it takes to qualify for that award?
Well, the student was actually nominated by one of his superiors who had worked with him in Civil Air Patrol, and they know how hard a worker that he is. The national award is there for one-time events and long-time events. You can get either 100 up to 174 hours and get a basic award. You can go up to 4,000 hours and get a lifetime award. It was started by President Bush. It's gone through the other presidents, and you get a packet with that. You get a recognition from the President of the United States.
Oh, that's awesome. And so what all goes into getting those hours and to be able to be nominated for that award?
Well, there is a database, and you have to have a qualifying agent, and we've served as a qualifying agent. We haven't done a lot of advertising because we have other databases on campus that we run thousands of volunteers through, but many of our volunteers have actually done the hours for this. So we're trying to decide whether or not we want to open that up for everyone to have an opportunity to look at this as a national service indicator. So what one has to do is start out and do either 174 hours in their category, their age group. Our age group is 16 to 25. And this student evidently did everything from take flight lessons that he could help Civil Air Patrol know more about what pilots do in the service, and has done many other mentoring projects with youth, and that's kind of his passion. So because of that, some of the semesters he has done more than others, but we are looking forward to having him become our first recipient to introduce this to OSU students.
That is so awesome. And we also know that we have a distinguished program here ourselves for community service called CORD. Can you talk to us a little bit about the CORD program as well?
Okay, the CORD program came up as a means to acknowledge what our students are doing. As we all know, they have done fabulous things in areas of health care. We've done things like the Relay for Life that we've heard about. We've done other projects to help with food distribution, and they get very little recognition, and the funding comes from student fees, and some people don't realize that. So to reward them in a small way and let them know how much the university and the community appreciates what they do, we do a program called CORD, Creating Opportunities for Responsible Development. And those students do 400 hours as an undergrad in 5 years, or as a graduate student, they can do 300 hours. And we had 151 last spring that completed that, and over 35 in the fall. So we're looking for our numbers to be larger. We had our first come and go CORD reception for homecoming this year, and we want to make that an annual event and let people get access to some of the things those students said they learned by doing volunteer work, and how important it was to them, the skills that they picked up by getting involved with people one-on-one.
That's awesome. And just kind of for funsies, what's the largest number of community service hours that have come through your office for one student?
For one student, about 1,560.
Oh my gosh.
And we have another student that has over 1,300 right now, who is a junior in Spears School of Business.
So that's numbers only going up. Wow, that is awesome. So thank you so much for telling us about the different ways OSU is equipping and encouraging students to help their communities. And Kevin, you don't go anywhere, because when I come back, I'm going to bring us something back to help us jumpstart our path to get our own service cords.
Sounds great, Alexis. I can't wait to see what she brings back. Stay with us to hear about a festival and how this festival is supporting women affected by recent hurricanes, and also which service project has Alexis so excited. Welcome back to Pete's Corner. After hearing of all the ways OSU students are serving their community, Alexis and I thought it was pretty important that we should get involved too. She brought back a service project that I can really get behind: making a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Me too, Kevin. Every week, student volunteers make sandwiches with supplies donated by students. Student volunteers then encourage other OSU students to exchange their lunch money for a PB&J sandwich. All the profits from the weekly sandwich sale go to the Africa Hope Center. an orphanage in Nairobi, Kenya. There is no set price for a sandwich, so anyone interested can give however much they want to donate. On average, the PB&J project makes $60 to $100 in donations each sandwich sale.
Sounds like there are countless creative ways OSU is helping people nationally or internationally.
Without a doubt, but the PB&J project is only one of many ways OSU is reaching out to serve others.
Yeah, you're right about that. But for now, let's put away our service project and see how OSU is helping other people's lives. From dancing to painting, from poems to photography, the 4th annual Prism Fest has so much to offer. We sent our own Caleb Jones to check out the event.
This past Tuesday, November 7th, the Women's Programming Advisory Council hosted the 4th annual Prism Fest. Prism Fest is a festival for women in the LGBTQ community. Each year, many artists display their talented work in hopes of selling their art. This year, more than 30 artists participated, making it the largest Prism Fest to date.
We had transgender people show up, we had gay people show up, we had lesbian people show up. It is primarily women, but we did represent that community.
Throughout the evening, many artists performed during the Prism Fest. Performers included the OSU Hip Hop Dance Crew, the Dance Company of OSU, and poetry artist Natasha Tinsley. While Prism Fest is an opportunity for LGBTQ artists to display their arts and messages, this year was about much more than just art. For the past 3 years, WPAC did not charge an entry fee to the event, but still managed to raise over $400 for Wings of Hope in Stillwater. This year, WPAC charged an entrance fee of $2 or the donation of a feminine hygiene product.
A lot of the organizations that we found have had like way too much clothes and too much food, and they don't need that. So we're really looking for like products specifically to give to women, and trying to find a credible organization, because unfortunately there are some sketchy ones out there. But yeah, going to Hurricane Harvey.
And while Prism Fest 2017 might have already ended, WPAC is still accepting toiletry items and monetary donations at their student union desk. Like most groups on campus, WPAC just wants to make the world a better place. For Pete's Corner, I'm Caleb Jones.
Just another example of an OSU student organization coming together for a bigger cause.
I can't believe all of the ways OSU is using volunteerism as a way to bring together different groups of people.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. OSU offers so many opportunities for students to find something they're interested in, get involved, and make a difference with whatever time they have.
That's the best way to make the world a better place.
Yeah, you're right. All the charity and research work is incredible, but one of OSU's best contributions is creating a lifelong love of service in students.
OSU's dedication to service has inspired me to volunteer. I had to go check out one of the service opportunities for myself with the NPHC Greek organizations through the art of stepping.
Alpha Phi Alpha, Kappa Alpha Psi, Iota Phi Theta, Phi Beta Sigma, and Omega Psi Phi fraternities incorporated. Alpha Kappa Alpha, Delta Sigma Theta, Sigma Gamma Rho, and Zeta Phi Beta sororities incorporated. 9 National Panhellenic Council Greek organizations, the Divine Nine, dedicated to community and service, among other things.
Like I said, they're big advocates for service and working on various issues in the Black community, and just kind of those helpers and those guides, like I said.
The Divine Nine have been serving communities worldwide since the early 1900s, and at Oklahoma State and Stillwater as early as the 50s. The Oklahoma State University NPHC and its planning committee are partnering with the Oklahoma school system and directly with Del City High School and its Stomp Team Center of Attention to cap off NPHC Week with a step show, Set It Off. Center of Attention is the Del City High School Stomp Team.
Center of Attention, they originated in 2014. Starting the Stomp Team was just a thing of, getting a group of kids that may not have had anything to do together and to start a family, for the most part, and to be a positive influence on other kids as well as the community.
Yes, the STEP Show made a financial commitment, but as a member of NPHC and as the executive director of Set It Off, Sullivan says he wants to impact the students involved and the community in more ways than just financial. The aim is for unity, building relationships, making connections, and to promote self-empowerment through the art of stepping.
Stepping is a form of self-expression, and characteristics that go into stepping can transfer over into a lot of things in real life, even without the intentions of being Greek. It does take a village to raise a child, and supporting the younger generation as a community is vital to the rise of the next generation. The support will be plenty come Saturday, and all will feel it. For Pete's Corner, I'm Alexis Winston.
The STEP show will be November 11th at the Stillwater High School Performing Arts Center at 7 p.m.
All this talk of shows has got me really in the mood to check out some high-quality entertainment.
We are in luck because at OSU, one group of students has been lighting up the stage since 1970 as a part of a campus-wide philanthropy event. Singing, dancing, cheesing, oh my! Let's see how the Greek community uses shows to raise money for Stillwater. We sent Taryn Valentine to check it out.
Can't believe it's finally the day.
Singing, dancing, and cheesing are huge parts of Freshman Follies. But an even bigger part is raising money for a worthy cause.
Freshman Follies is a competition among all of the Greek houses, and what they do is we put on a show with a theme, dances, singing, and what it does is just entertaining. It kind of gives a little bit of fuel for competition, but also in the meantime we raise money for a philanthropy.
Cheesing is pretty much synonymous with Follies, but what exactly is it?
Cheesing is extreme facial expressions that they do during the show, and it represents what's going on during the dance. So you can do sad cheesing or happy cheesing or scared cheesing.
Freshman Follies isn't just cheesing and glitter. It supports Hearts for Hearing, an organization that provides support for children with hearing loss in Oklahoma.
Our ticket sales, a portion of all tickets goes to Hearts for Hearing. And then the Wednesday, the Cheesing for Charity, which is I think a 5-year tradition here at OSU, 100% of the proceeds from tickets go to that. And then the students also, they do letter writing campaigns. They get their parents and friends and family to donate to that. And then we do restaurant benefit nights.
One of the most exciting parts of Freshman Follies is when they announce the winners. But a close second is when they announce how much money has been raised for Hearts for Hearing.
We raised $56,668, I believe, which is a lot more than we've done in previous years with the added resources and the amount of people that were able to attend. So it was really good.
Freshman Follies isn't the only way that the Greeks give back to the community through song and dance. Varsity Review and Spring Sing are a great option too. I'm about to try out for VR right now, so I'll see you later.
Varsity Review is a song and dance show put on by a sorority and fraternity pair, much like Freshman Follies. Varsity Review raises money for Stillwater's United Way. Spring Sing is a singing competition, but the pairings perform on bleachers, limiting motions to arm movements. Spring Sing has been benefiting Coaches vs. Cancer since 2005 and has raised over $50,000 since. So, this year you should check out a show and support a good cause. For Pete's Corner, I'm Taryn Valentine.
Varsity Review will be held February 14th through 17th, so get ready for another great show for a great cause.
We've definitely got a university we can be proud of. From space travel to robots to making a PB&J, we've hoped you enjoy learning of all the ways OSU is doing its part to make the world a better place.
And we showed you lots that OSU is doing, so don't be afraid to jump in and do your part to making the world a better place, one activity at a time.
I hope you're as encouraged as I am to volunteer at your local charity or help support the life-changing research happening here on OSU's campus.
We appreciate you for tuning into the show. Come back next week as we look at the ways OSU interacts with their furry friends. For Pete's Corner, I'm Alexis Winston.
And I'm Kevin Dorsey, and as always,
Go Pokes.